welcome to Trucking Along with Kearsey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. First, I want to say thank you so much for commenting and subscribing. It really helps the channel, and we've been raising a lot of money for Meals on Wheels. I really appreciate all that you guys do every day, each and every one of you. And I promise that I will try to comment as soon as I can and respond to any comments that you make. Something about trucking is things are not always going to go your way. Maureen hit the nail on the head in one of the videos where she said, get rid of your expectations, because things are going to happen. Weather's going to happen, truck repairs, tire blowouts, things happen all the time, and there's nothing you can do about it. And here's an example. The other day, I was up a long time. And part of it is that being a trainer, I want to make sure she's okay getting in and out of the different customers, you know, making sure that she can back up into the spaces. And even though I technically should be asleep because that's my break, I want to make sure everything's okay. That's my job. And so the other night I was really tired when it came to my drive shift. You know, she's really, really good, so I don't have to quote unquote babysit her, but I have a tendency to wake up every couple hours or every, 3 or 4 hours, whatever, and just make sure that everything's kosher. And, you know, and it has nothing to do with her. She's a great driver. She's a great student. She's probably the best I've ever had. So I'm not complaining about her. I'm just saying that's just part of the job. So the other night, I wound up needing to drive 400 miles to get to my destination. It was our first receiver. She had driven us in there. She did a great job. She did the drop and hook. She delivered our load to FedEx, and it was really, really busy, really busy. And then she went to the next customer and picked up our load, and then I wound up having to drive it to Minnesota. It was really windy, we were late, and I got 78 miles away, and I was like, you know what, no, this isn't working. I'm tired. And when you're tired and fighting the weather, and we discussed in the most recent video about weather shutdown and weather and things, that wind just kept pushing on my trailer and pushing on my trailer, and I kept trying to fight it out. That's exhausting. So I did stop, and we got some sleep, and a few hours later when the wind died down, she had her hours back. She drove us into the customer. It was a very busy customer. It had a lot of room to maneuver, but it was really busy, and that can be scary for a new driver. So she had to park into staging area, which they told us, oh, well, you might have to wait here overnight because you missed your original appointment. Okay, whatever, then I'll sleep more. So then they called us up, and she backed into the space. And it's funny because when she gets mad, she does a really good job backing up. And somebody came over and asked her, do you need help? And she's like, no. She says, no, I don't need any help. I'm fine. So she backs up into space, and she's good. And then a couple hours later, they called us and told us to back into a door to get unloaded. That one was a little bit more difficult for her. She was in a different state of mind by that time. And the way the people are and cars, like trucks and cars and yard jockeys are all flying around, and people walk behind you and in front of you. They just walk around. The truckers know that you need the space, and they just don't care, and when you're new, you feel that pressure to try to hurry up. And it was so funny because earlier she said, I'm just going to have to get aggressive and tell them, too bad, screw you people, I'm a trucker now too. And it was really cute. And, then when she was backing into the door, it was a different type of situation. So it goes back into those highs and lows that we talked about before in another video. After we get unloaded and she drove us to our next receiver, she gets in, and it's a slant. Now, slants are kind of hard for new people. I always did the slants better. Maybe just because I'm not normal. I don't know. But I think it's because when I normally set up, I set up for 45-degree angle. So when I line up for a slant, a lot of times I'm basically in a straight line back, and I can go straight back into the slant because I'm already at that 45-degree angle. But a lot of people think that the slants are harder. She came in, she did the slant all by herself. It was really, really cool. I was proud of her. And while she was doing that, I'll tell you, Brian, one of our commenters, one of our subscribers by the name of Brian, I'm sorry I don't remember your last name, but he was asking me on a couple of my videos about home time and getting dates. And, you know, people think that because you're a company driver, you can't choose when you're going to go home or how often you go home, and that's a bunch of crap. So we originally, my friend Jenny and Sean originally called me up and said, let's go to Vegas, and we were going to go from December 6th through the 10th or something like that. And we already had this set up with my fleet manager and their fleet manager. And while Maureen was backing into the space today, I was on the phone with the spa making us all appointments for massages and facials. As I'm on the phone with them, I make the reservation, and then Jenny calls me back. We got messages from Prime saying that if you stay out from December 7th through January 6th, that if you're an A seat, meaning you're eligible to go solo, like you're already an upgraded driver, then it's $800 bonus for you. And that's in addition to your regular Christmas bonus. Our Christmas bonuses can be anywhere from like usually $30 for new people, and then like $100 to $150. I think they do it on a progressive type of thing based on how long you've been with Prime. So don't hold me to it. I'm pretty sure it was like $150 last year. And if you stay out through like Thanksgiving and Christmas, they reimburse you for your holiday dinner. But anyway, Sean and Jenny, they're teaming, so they would each get, it's like $1,500 that they split, something like that. And then me as a trainer, I'd get $800 bonus, and Maureen as a student, a trainee, because she has her CDL, she's what they call a TNT, she gets $400. So Jenny calls me up and says, oh, how about if we move the dates up? So I'm like, oh man, now I have to go cancel this. She had to change the room. We had to go tell our fleet managers. And so I was thinking, well, you know, I just went home, you know, to vote, and I think I came back out like on the 9th or the 10th or something like that. And so I was thinking, man, I might not have enough time out to have earned, you know, the time, because it's only like 3 weeks or something, and we're entitled to 3 days off every 3 weeks. We are. And honestly, I think they give more leeway with home time on team trucks because they're making more revenue. So I wasn't really sure it was going to be an issue. I didn't think so, but I messaged my fleet manager, Greedy One Kenobi, and said, hey, we're going to stay out to get the bonus, and we just want to move our dates up a week, and is that going to be okay? And the next thing you know, he says, no problem. So now our dates are moved up. In 10 days or so, we're going to be in Vegas. We're going to be you know, at one of those big 5-star resorts and hanging out and getting facials and having great steak dinners, you know, with a couple friends, and we're gonna have a good time. And you know, that's kind of the possibility of what life out here is like. You know, you have to make the best of it. And Maureen and I are gonna do a video about the lifestyle change. I want to do that with her because I want a new person to explain to you their reaction, whether it's difficult, whether it's easy, what's difficult, because it is a lifestyle change. what I really enjoy about it is that I'm left alone. That's what I want. Just leave me alone and I'll make you all the money you want. Just leave me alone. I want to do what I want. I want to be left alone. When I tell you I want to go home, I want to go home. You know, when I tell you I want to run hard, I want to run hard. When I tell you, hey, I need a day off, I want a day off. You know, sometimes it's not even go home. Sometimes it's just, hey, I need extra time to go sleep. I need extra time to do laundry. So, you know, when you know how to manage your time and you gain the trust of your fleet manager, then all things are possible. And it doesn't matter if you're a lease or company. I mean, seriously, all things are possible. And build that relationship with your dispatcher. You know, I hear so many people that say to me that they went from, you know, I've heard people say to me, well, I went from Swift to Rail to Night to Prime and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they're leaving every 2 and 3 months. They're not building a reputation. They're not building a relationship. You have to prove to dispatch and to the load planners that you know what you're doing and you're going to be reliable. And when you do that, things work out. Maureen has said to me that she thinks I'm extremely thorough, that she knows that my fleet manager knows that I'm going to make sure that the truck is fixed and it's running properly. She knows that I'm going to give her as much information as I possibly can to make sure that she can do this job easier. You know, she really hasn't been making a lot of rookie mistakes that I see. And, you know, normally even mistakes that I made when I went solo, which is good, but I don't know if that has to do with the fact that I'll say to her, hey, you know, hurry up and watch that mirror because you don't want to hit that because I already did that, you know. And it's funny, I don't want her to feel embarrassed or you know, you can really feel stupid. Let's put it that way. You can feel embarrassed and silly and stupid and say, oh my God, I can't believe that I was stupid enough to, you know, take that turn too narrow and run this over or jump that curb or hit that pole or whatever. And, you know, anything that she's done out here, I've already done. You know, and I can warn her, yo, you don't want to do that. I already did it. People who criticize new drivers out here are idiots. Don't listen to them. Okay, I see a lot of, on certain forums, not on truckingtruth.com where I'm a moderator, because I'd open my big mouth and stop that, but I've seen on other forums and in Facebook groups where a new driver will ask something and then everybody in the group just jumps on them. And it's one of the reasons why I really got off of social media. You'll see I have an Instagram thing, but I don't even know how it works. I rarely use it. I don't have time. I don't know how these people have time to train students and be on social media and be on TikTok and they're on this and that and 360 Life and on all these different things. I just don't understand how they have time because I barely have time to make these videos. Something that is cool though, a radio producer contacted me and they want me to do an interview about good truck stops and truck stops that, like, what makes a good truck stop. What do you find? Like, Maureen and I, the first thing we said was we want space. You know, we don't want narrow parking spaces. We don't want narrow aisles to have to back in. The layout of the truck stop is important. You don't want all blindside backs on angles. You know, you don't want these little narrow spaces. When you're driving 580, 600 miles and you're tired and you're exhausted, the last thing you want to have to do is try to back into a space that's really difficult. You know, showers and food, yeah, that's great. But if I can't park, I ain't getting to that shower and eating that food. You know, and laundry, that's important. We need to do that once in a while, especially when I don't go home. I go home and I take my laundry to a fluff and fold place. Why don't you guys tell me down below, what do you think makes a good truck stop? I want to see what your answers are, and then I can add that in with the radio interview that hopefully it goes through. That would be really cool. I'll let you guys know when that's going to be. So I want to thank you guys very much. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I hope to see you out here trucking along. Bye.